Married at First Sight season 13. The Hook. The Hook. What is the hook, right? In writing novel, there is what is called the hook. It is what you use to hook the reader's attention, and that will make them want to read the book. Finish it. Because I started reading some book and I'm like, paragraph, first chapter, you got to hook me. If you don't hook me, I'm out. Okay? Well, how many of you know that guys use that in dating? I talked about the hook in my book, 23 Tasks of Guys. I didn't call it the hook. I call it bait. BAIT. A lot of guys bait women. And we need to know that guys are baiting us. Or what I call, and I didn't put this in the book, don't steal my idea, but it's the Good Samaritan hook. I sort of mentioned it with the born again guys. What is the Good Samaritan hook or the hook? It is because someone does a Good Samaritan type of job, then that's enough for you to make them your husband, ladies. And then you ignore all the red flags. Who am I talking about? Gill. It is so ironic that I had about 3 sisters Instagram me and said that, their whole opinion about Gill has changed. I'm going to give a shout out to Clara. Clara is here with me on my channel all the time. Clara lives in Eastland. She's my neighbor. And we were talking a little bit inbox. And I was talking about how we can't allow, because Gill is a firefighter, we exalt being a firefighter, but then you ignore all the other red flags, right? Because not because he's a firefighter means he's a good person, he's a good man, or that he will make a good husband. And a lot of us as women, we make that mistake. We make that mistake with Mr. Save. Remember Mr. Save? He's saved. And a lot of church people sold that to a lot of young ladies, and they're miserable now because he's saved. He's saved, but he ain't got no job. He's saved, but he's abusive. He's saved, but he cheats. He saves, but he verbally, emotionally, physically, psychologically abuses you. He's saved, but he don't want to work. He's saved, but he don't want to love you like Christ loved the church. And I talked about Mr. Save in my book, 23 Tasks of Guys. So, ladies, we have to separate Gill being a firefighter and everything else, or calculate it all. In this book, I believe, I talk about a cake. All the ingredients you need to make a cake. How many of y'all know you cannot make cake with just flour? As important as flour is, and flour is the most important thing you use to bake a cake, because it is the substance of the cake. How many of y'all know that flour is not enough to bake a cake? So you can't allow, because Gill is a firefighter, that you ignore all the red flags, or he's good looking. That's the one I see so many women in the groups. Oh, he's so good looking. That's it. Good looking, but he can't provide for you. Good looking, but he's cheap. He's good looking, but he's passive aggressive. Good looking, but he is right on the border of being verbally and psychologically and emotionally abusive, always picking at Myrla's ability to provide for herself, her ability to buy her $1,000 shoes because she can't afford it and you cannot. Ability, you're right on the board of calling her diva or princess because you're not a prince. And ladies, what I talk about in my writing is stop ignoring the red flags. You cannot ignore the red flags. Those red flags are going to come back and kick you in your teeth. Because soon as you come down off that emotional roller coaster and realization hits you in your face, you're going to be like, oh my God. And what I'm trying to teach women is calculate it all. Look at everything. You can't just use one situation to decide if a man is a good man, because one is not enough. I told you guys, my husband had to be saved. I'm giving the top 4. Had to be saved, had to be a tither, had to be a gentleman, had to have a good job. If I met a man that was saved, was not a tither, was not a gentleman, did not have a good job, goodbye. If I met a man who was saved, was not a tither, but was a gentleman and had a good job, goodbye. If I met a man who was saved, was a tither, was not a gentleman, I met a lot of those, goodbye. If I met a man who was saved, a tither, gentleman, did not have a good job, I was not interested. Why? Because you have to decide in your mind, ladies, what is it that you need to live a comfortable and fulfilling life? Let me tell you, the lie that your marriage is supposed to be struggle, is supposed to be hell. It is a lie and a deception from the pits of hell. Your marriage is not supposed to be struggling. Your marriage is not supposed to be trials and tribulations. Your marriage is supposed to be more of a fairy tale than struggle. In all fairness to both Gill and Myrla, and I have to start every video with this about them when I talk about them. Gill asked for somebody who was not high maintenance and who would love him and accept him based on his $36,000 a year income. Because every time he makes a comment about Myrla, what does he say? I'm a firefighter. I don't make a lot of money. Gill was a volunteer firefighter all this time and just got certified, making $36,000 a year. How many of y'all know the poverty limit is $30,000? I have not checked it since the latest census. Thank you, pre-K. She said, Janice, you said censor. It's not censor, it's census. Census. Thank you, girl. I don't know if it went up or it went down. I'm making the assumption it probably went down. It is, so the poverty limit is 29 something. Let's just round it out at 30 because this is Janice, these numbers. So that means if you make $30,000 and less, according to the American whatever, you are living in poverty. And then 30,000 to 50,000, I believe, is what's the next? I gotta look it up. Right above poverty. And then 50,000 to 99,000, I think, is considered middle class. Alyssa, you could help me out with these numbers. I have to look it up. I have not looked it up since 2020 because, every 10 years they do research and things change. So I don't know what the new number is. But I do know 86%, 90%, you might as well, of Americans live paycheck to paycheck. That means you can't afford to miss a paycheck. And then people who make 100,000 and above is in a whole other class system. So in all fairness, Myrla asked for someone whose income was comparable and lifestyle. What does that mean? That means your income, how you're spending the money, and your lifestyle is comparable. We live alike. It's nothing for him to go pay $400 or $500 for a pair of shoes, good shoes for a man. It's nothing for my husband to go to a man's dressing store and drop $5,000. It's nothing. It's nothing for my husband to pay $300, $400 for a pair of shoes. It's absolutely, it's okay. So in all fairness to them, she did ask. Gill also asked for somebody who, is like-minded financially, who is not high maintenance. Okay, you're used to staying in motels. You two stars is enough for you. Okay, Sister Janice and Sister Myrla, we don't do motels. We do hotels 4.5 stars and above. So, ladies, the reason why a lot of us get in trouble with the men we choose is because we don't look at the bigger picture. We look at one thing. He's good looking. He's a firefighter. Then that means he's a good person. It doesn't matter. I shared this post in my community tab, and she says, I'm about to pull my hair out, all of it. My husband gave me a whole $50, told me to get a meat plan and dog and cat food. Weird, bro, weird. True story. I have to laugh. You knew that's how he was before. That's going to be Gill. That's all of you Gill pick-me-shas. Don't mention coupons. So you have to look at the big picture. You can't just look at one thing. You can't just look at he's good looking. That's not enough. He's a firefighter. That is not enough. He's a single dad. That's not enough. He's saved. That's not enough. You have to build your cake. Don't ignore those red flags. Those red flags is going to come back and kick you in your teeth. Gill commentary to and about Myrla is right up there with Chris. Granted, I knew Chris was not going to like what's her name? What's her name? Paige. I knew it. Just like I knew Ryan was not going to like Brett. I just knew it. So getting back to the hook, ladies, you cannot allow the Good Samaritan hook to hook you because he's a good Samaritan, and that's it. You can't build a marriage on that. You can't build a lifetime sustainable relationship on that. Because guess what? The mortgage company is going to come knocking. No, somebody said, my kind, what is wrong with somebody like Gill? I would never date somebody like Gill. Gill can't afford me. He can't afford me. There was one firefighter guy that was interested in me when I was, I don't know, about 19 or 20. But after that, that was it, because they don't make no money for me. I'm going to come back and talk about why a lot of people are mad at Myrla. You in poverty limit, $30,000, or right above poverty limit, trying to tell somebody who is 10% of Americans over $100,000 how to spend their money. When you bring home $1,500 a month, but they bring home $10,000 a month after taxes. You don't have any kind of ability to comprehend, because you're bringing home $1,500 a month, ma'am. She's bringing home $10,000 a month after taxes. So again, stop being emotional. Look at the big picture. You would think somebody who's saved is good enough. No, it's not. And even if he had a good job, I met a couple of guys that had great jobs, but they weren't saved. They weren't a tither. Or you have the Christians who save, gentlemen, good job, but they don't believe in tithing. I'm not going to marry that because I'm a tither. I give to the church. So when my husband says, babe, pastor wants us to bring food or whatever, or cash, and I'm going to write a check for Thanksgiving back. Okay. Pastor wants us to bring toys. I'm going to go so we're going to buy these amount of toys, or we going, okay, no problem. Because why? I'm a tither and I'm a giver. So it doesn't bother me to tithe or give. End of year bonus coming up. I'm waiting for it. First of all, Mike, we tithe, and then he give me my escape money. Okay. So do not fall for it, ladies. I see so many women on Facebook, on Instagram, talking about how good looking he is and ignore everything else. You're ignoring everything else. All you're building your marriage on, your foundation, is that he's good looking. Nothing wrong with being good looking, because I love me a good looking man. I could not marry to an ugly man. I just could. My husband is very handsome. Okay, I have a very, very handsome husband. He's very good looking. Glasses and all. Very good looking. So yeah, you want him to be good looking, but it's not enough for him to be good looking. You understand what I mean? And this is why a lot of y'all women are 10 years a girlfriend, and y'all are the 23,000 guys, you choose the wrong one. And then a lot of wives are the naked wives, like this one woman. Oh, there was another lady that says, oh, I'm gonna do a video on it, girl. It was so terrible that her husband booked their anniversary weekend getaway. I'm gonna come back and do another video. She said, my husband will never plan anything for me again in life, not even if it's to walk across the street. This MF had me sleep in the world's nastiest hotel. Okay, you saw it was nasty while you stayed. I literally cried, y'all. I had a nightmare about the bed. They had no soap, no pillows, no covers, no TV, no microwaves, no towels, not to mention a crackhead dancing to keep sweat in the hallway. I can't make this up. He gonna tell me just survive the night, like at WTF. That's how he was before. That's Gill. That's Gill. That's what Gill is gonna do for you. That's what cheap men do for you. Because I know you didn't pay top dollars for that. We went down south and we booked, my godmother was moving. I went down to help her pack and move. And my husband booked, it was an off-brand hotel because there was nothing else near where she lived. And I forgot what he calls it. It's where they're trying to save. You know how, like, my washing machine, I hate it. It preserve water. Let me pay the water bill. Fill my washer up. Okay, I forgot what they're called. They had no rugs in the bathroom. Or maybe they had one. I think I might have put a towel down. And they had no rugs when you get off the bed. And it was hardwood floors. I say, oh, no, Mike, we can't stay here. I said, we're going to stay the night because we're just getting here. But tomorrow morning, I don't care if we got to drive 2 hours. We can't stay here. Okay. And it was right. It was like an hour drive to get to a nicer hotel so we could help her to move. That hotel was close. It was one of those off brands. I said, no, sir, we can't do that. Okay. Because I got to be comfortable. But this right here, this is what Gil's going to get you. A cheap man. Don't ignore the red flags. Listen to what he says. Listen to how he talks about you. Listen to how he referred to you. Because I bet you if it was Chris who was saying all those things that Gill said to Paige, y'all would have been mad. But because Gill is tall and bald-headed and good-looking, y'all overlooking it. And this is why y'all end up becoming naked wives and why y'all choose wrong men, because you're not looking at the bigger picture. I got to go, girl. I was supposed to do a live. And I woke up today, I started cleaning. Y'all know what happened to me when I start cleaning. When the spirit of clean get on me, I got to clean. And so Hubbalicious just took the kids out, and I'm about to go take my nap. So I'm going to come back later, but I know I didn't give you guys a video yesterday. I was working all day on my book. I'm going to try to finish it today. And I've been cleaning since I woke up. And I did a review on my allegedly Janice. So check out the Respect Aretha Franklin I did over there. Just real quick. I'm going to come back and do a real review. And then I said, well, let me do a little video for you guys before I go to sleep. Okay. I love you. Let me know what you think. Have you been hooked by the Good Samaritan? How many of y'all married, dated the guy because of one thing, and then in about 2 or 3 months, you start seeing the wolf? You thought he was a sheep, but he's a wolf. I have to go. I love you. Remember my books. It's a new month, new opportunity to support me. I love you. Remember, Thanksgiving is coming. These book series is Thanksgiving series. I love you. I have to go, girl, and bye.